What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Icon-RDA. So when Mike Vapes reached out to me a couple of weeks ago about doing a video on the Icon-RDA, of course, first of all, I agreed, and second of all, I told him that I would give it a fair and unbiased look at it, which, that is exactly what he was looking for. He told me that he wants someone outside of his circle of friends that would be willing to really take a good look at this thing and give you guys out there my unbiased opinion. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. So let's get this show on the road. Let's start it off with my intent by saying that I did receive this product for free from the manufacturer for the purpose of doing this video. However, it has no monetary value to me, which means my opinions on it will remain honest and unbiased. With that being said, I would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to the people over at myvpro.com as well as Vandy-Vape for sending these along my way for the purpose of making this video. So thank you guys so very much. I really do appreciate it. So real quick, before we go down to the close-up view, what colors does it come in? How much is it going to be? And where can I get one? Well, you have two color options right now, black and stainless steel. Of course, both have the gold-plated deck, which is really cool. It's going to cost you $30.99, which is a steal. It is an absolute bargain. And as of right now, it is currently in pre-order on myvpro.com, which is the best place to get yourself an Icon-RDA. Of course, it will be linked down there in the description below if you guys want to snag a pre-order one right now. Looks like the release date is April 8th, 2017. So if you're watching this in the future, you can probably already get one of these things if they're not already sold out. But with that, let's go down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see here, I've got one of these Icon-RDAs brand new in the box, still with the wrapper on it. So let's quickly take a look around the packaging, and then we'll talk about what's inside. So this is not the full retail packaging. First and foremost, I want to tell you guys that this is a reviewer sample that was sent to me, and you can see here by it says free sample right there up in the corner. This is not what it's going to look like when you guys get your hands on one for yourself. But with that, it's very simple. Icon-RDA, Vandy-Vape right at the top there. Color indication, this is stainless steel. Some warnings and legal stuff right there. Mike Vapes Project, Vandy-Vape logos on the sides here. And on the back, pretty much just the contents of the box and some of the legal stuff as well. Just more legal disclaimers. Ugh. But with that, let's go ahead and take the wrapper off real quick. And we'll slide this out. And there you go. That's what you're going to see when you open up the box, which is pretty darn cool. I got to tell you that right now. So, of course, you have your Icon-RDA, which we'll take out real quick. So we'll take a better look at that in a second here. You also get a drip tip. This is a wide bore drip tip. There you go. You can see the bore on that. And you get a tall wide bore tip. So a little bit different, just something a little bit different to switch it up if you guys want to customize it to your specific, liking. But with that, taking apart the box a little bit more, you have your bag of parts. Now this isn't just any old bag of parts. You get pretty much every single O-ring that you can think of in here. You also get a 510 drip tip adapter and a little screwdriver, plus a full set of replacement gold screws. You can see those in the bottom here. So yeah, lots of little parts and pieces and all that good stuff. So real quick, let's just go over this thing from top to bottom. As you'll notice first, there's the Delrin drip tip that comes with it. This is one of 3 drip tips actually that come with it, which is awesome because you guys know me, I really can't stand metal tips. So with that, let's just take a look at all 3 tips real quick side by side. You'll notice nice and wide bore for all 3. And yeah, just something different and unique if you guys want to use one or the other. Not a lot of height difference in these two here. This one is the only one that sticks up a little bit taller than the rest of them. But with that, they're all very, very comfortable. Delrin tips, they don't heat up or anything like that, which is just great. So next up, we have the O-ring on the inside here, securing the drip tip in there. Never had an issue with it falling out. Never wobbles, never wiggles, nothing. So perfect as far as that's concerned. You might notice the Vandy-Vape logo right there on the top, which is kind of unique, a little bit different. Taking off the top cap section, or the airflow control section, you can see the airflow control itself. So you do have a single coil option if you wanted to use a single coil. You can also choose whether or not you want to use one or both of these holes per coil, which is kind of nice. and it also is secured by a single O-ring on the top as well, which I have never had an issue with, so that is another win for me personally. You can see the barrel section here with the Vandy-Vape logo there, and the Icon logo on the other side, which is nice. Really nice looking logo, if I do say so myself. And let's get this chimney section off, or the top cap off, and see the actual build deck. Now this is something to look at. This is quite the unique build deck, gold plated, as you can see here. Kind of has upper posts and lower posts. You have a positive block and a negative block. The positive block is of course insulated, and it just allows for so many different creative ways to build this thing. Honestly, I have so many ideas for Fresh Build Friday videos, it's not even funny. But with that, really kind of unique post design, which is great. Nice deep juice well. Actually not sure exactly how deep. Probably, I'm gonna guess, right around the 6 millimeter deep juice well, which holds tons of wicking and juice. You know, the screws fit really nicely. I've heard they are actually replacing the Allen keys here, the Allen headed screws, with Phillips screws, which is okay in my book. And here you can see the dual O-rings that secure on the top cap as well, which is great. Never had an issue with this thing popping off or anything like that. So there you go. And finally, we have the bottom, which has the Icon logo once again. Going to be a little bit hard to see because it's very, very reflective, and it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but that's really not a big deal because you're not going to be handling this part all that much. You have the screw that holds in the negative block. You have the positive pin here, which is pretty flush. I don't know. I'd be a little bit hesitant using this thing on a hybrid mechanical. I'm going to have to touch base with Mike on that one and see what he says about that. But it is pretty darn flush, so my thoughts are no-go. But with that, you can replace that pin. It comes with a squonk pin as well. For all you squonkers out there, your day has just been made because this thing actually comes with a squonk pin. And of course, this is a 24 millimeter in diameter atomizer, which fits most modern devices. So there you go, a quick up-close look at the Icon-RDA by Vandy-Vapes-and-Mike-Vapes. It's just something to behold. I really like this thing. So with that, let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on it, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off today with the pros, and my first pro is the unique build deck and the unlimited amount of coil options you have for this thing. Right when I unboxed it the first time and I took the cap off and I noticed the build deck, you know, I really didn't watch a whole lot of videos on this thing before I got it in my hands, so I really didn't know what to expect. So with that, I took the cap off and I was kind of blown away by the amount of options that you really have for this thing. If you want to use the upper posts by themselves and you want to use a narrow coil, you can do that. If you want to use just the outer two posts, you can do that. There's just so much you can do with this thing. It is unbelievable. So I will be sure to do a couple other build videos for Fresh Build Friday on the Icon-RDA to give you guys maybe a little bit more inspiration. But yeah, that is definitely something I absolutely love about this device. So my second pro today is the fact that it comes with 3 different drip tip options. You have the 510 adapter, you have a wide bore tip, and a super wide bore tip. That to me is great because it gives you that much more level of, you know, personalization if you guys want to customize it and bling it out as much as you want. If you want to put your own 510 adapter in there, or if you prefer the wide bore like myself, I like the super wide bore tip. It is very comfortable to vape on, and it's a nice big chunk of Delrin, which I can totally appreciate. Very, very comfortable to vape, and yeah, I just think it looks nice and matchy-matchy with this setup here. For my third pro today, I really like how smooth the airflow is. One good thing about this device is the fact that the airflow you can see all the way through. Even when I have my coils built in there right now with my cotton, I can still see light all the way through this device. Not only that, it is super smooth as well. I was kind of expecting this one to be a little bit more on the whistly side, considering those little kind of like indentations next to the airflow slots seem to me like that would just be prone to whistling, but I haven't been able to get this thing to be super duper whistly. I mean, just taking a few puffs off of it real quick, it's really not that bad as far as, you know, the loudness factor to it. I've definitely seen worse atomizers out there. But yeah, the airflow itself is very, very smooth. It's very comfortable. It just kind of rides right underneath my coils and gets right up there. Plus the airflow slots sit a little bit higher, which means it doesn't leak. That's kind of a bonus feature as well. So there you go. Next up, we have the gold plating is pretty decent. I was kind of surprised, especially for a Chinese-made product, to see that the gold plating was really handling all the wear and tear. I've built this thing a couple of times already in the few short weeks that I've had it. But with that, you know, it's standing up no problem to it. So yeah, that definitely gets 2 big thumbs up from me. And my 5th and final pro is the price. You know, I gotta say, I could not finish this video without mentioning the price at least one more time. You cannot go wrong for $30.99 with this RDA here. It's just a no-brainer at that point. You know, 9 times out of 10, RDAs, even ones made in China, are going to cost $40 plus. And for a device to come out that works this well, I think it is one hell of a bargain. You're going to get your money's worth out of this, no doubt. Alright guys, so moving on to some cons. My first con is that I had a bitch of a time trying to keep the negative wire trapped as I was tightening down the screws. Now, this is an issue that will not be present in the full production model. The model that I have currently is a reviewer sample, as you saw in the close-up view. This is not something that is completely 100% finished. This is basically just a beta version, if you will. I actually spoke with Mike Vapes at Vape Showcase Atlanta, and he told me they were working on a few little minor tweaks to it as they sent out these pre-production ones. So with that, he said he has that problem fixed for the full production model, and that won't be an issue anymore. So I'm totally okay with that. Another issue I had was the Allen-headed screws. I've never been a huge fan of Allen-headed screws when it comes to RDAs. For some reason, for me personally, I just can never seem to get them tight enough without either stripping the screw or the Allen wrench. So with that is another thing they fixed in the full retail version, which has Phillips headed screws, which is awesome. I think that is a great choice on their part. And so that's not really an issue either. The only real issue that I had with this thing that hasn't already been solved is the fact that there's not much to grip onto when it comes to the airflow control section. Now, if you're just changing your airflow, it's really not a big issue because you can just kind of spin it and it will turn. However, I prefer taking this whole airflow control section off when I drip my coils, because I like to paint them and be a little bit more accurate with my juice instead of just pouring it right down the drip tip. So that is kind of a real minor con, and it really only affects me. So if you guys aren't the type to actually paint your coils and you just go right down the tip, then that is not even going to be an issue for you. So there you go. I had a really difficult time, you know, finding cons for this thing, and you know, I gotta say, Mike, you did a great job with it. That's all there is to it. So at the end of the day, is this thing worth purchasing? Well, in my opinion, yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer at this point. You're not going to lose for $30.99. I mean, I personally could see myself paying double that amount and still being completely happy with my purchase. I mean, there's a lot of value for your money in the Icon, and there's a lot of features in here that I like a whole heck of a lot. So with that, yeah, I would definitely recommend the Icon. I would suggest picking one up today. I mean, it's going to be good for just about every different type of vapor out there, so make sure you check it out. Of course, I'll leave links in the description below. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Of course, you can click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below about what you think of the Icon RDA, or if you want to pick out one for yourself. Make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links in the description below. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and as always, vape on!